Alright guys, Darth here, back with another Mcfarlane Toys Warhammer 40K action figure review. Taking a look at the relatively recently released Adepta Sororitas Battle Sister figure. I'm probably saying that wrong, the Sororitas part, maybe not, but yeah, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. But yeah, this is the second figure in the kind of new wave, I guess you could say, of two whole figures. The previous one being the Blood Angels Hellblaster, which I have reviewed. It's on my channel if you want to see a closer look of that figure. But this is the second one, which I wasn't sure if I was going to actually pick up or not, but I found it in stores and I was like, yeah, it looks really cool, I'll pick it up. And I'm not disappointed. Mcfarlane Toys, I think, even though they've only produced a handful of figures so far, I think they've been absolutely killing the Warhammer 40K line, for the price point at least. I think they are really, really solid figures, and spoiler alert, this figure is no exception. Now, right off the bat, I will apologize. I'm a very casual Warhammer fan. I do not know a whole lot about the lore, and well, I knew maybe a little bit about the Space Marines. I know pretty much next to nothing about this character. I know it's an all-female group of soldiers, but that's about as far as my knowledge goes. When it comes to the Warhammer stuff, I just love how all the designs of all these characters, that's one thing that the Warhammer universe has always, you know, appealed to me. All the designs of all these different characters always look awesome, and I'm always a sucker for a soldier character with crazy looking power armor. So let's take a look at the figure. First female character in the Warhammer line that Mcfarlane's produced. And yeah, it's a really, really good. As you can see, lots of great sculpt and detail. Mcfarlane never slouches on that regard. I do like the colors here. The black armor looks great. The white accents really pop on the more matte black, which I think looks really good. You've got some other paint apps going on here, other plastic bits, colored bits. You got some red for these like robes going on, which is kind of cool combination of armor and robes. Getting in the helmet. When I originally saw this figure, and again, because I'm not super familiar with this character, at first I wasn't a huge fan of the design of the helmet, but I've grown quickly to like it quite a bit. It's very medieval-like, and I like it a lot. It's got the red eyes there. The white, again, looks quite striking. It looks very good. And you got like the little rivet pins and all that good stuff, sculpted detail going on. On this side, you got this little symbol here, which is sculpted on the shoulder and painted in white. And then over here, you've got another symbol with a 1, or Roman numeral 1, and then some wings, which I assume maybe has something to do with like squad or group she's a part of. Again, I'm sure someone can fill me in on that, because I have no idea. And on the front here, you got these silver painted tubes that look good, and you've got this gold like little symbol going on with the skull and the little chain necklace with the little symbol again that we saw on the shoulder, which looks great. And then there's all this detail on the armor. The breastplate has those same symbols, not painted, just sculpted in. And then the bottom of it almost kind of is resemblance of like chainmail, kind of. It's not chainmail, but it kind of looks like that. And the armor on the gauntlets, you got, again, more great little sculpted detail. Some of the detail does get lost in the whole black part, but it's not a big deal. Still looks good. The belt here, you got this gold symbol painted there. It looks really nice. You got some canisters or grenades. I think these might be grenades on the front, which aren't painted but are sculpted nicely. And you do have painted pouches, which are painted and sculpted pretty nicely. And you just got the wrap going on there, some like beads or chains and little like necklace things going on, and other little symbols kind of there. This lower red robe piece, it's pretty cool. It looks pretty nice, and it's made of a really nice flexible plastic, rubbery plastic, really nice, gets out of the way of articulation very easily, which is awesome. If you're going to do plastic saw or cloth materials like this, or plastic that's simulating cloth, this is what you want to do, so it doesn't get out in the way of articulation. And the legs, you know, nothing too crazy to talk about. Just that black, you do with these white painted skull emblems on the knee guards look really good, and there is some asymmetry going on, which is always cool looking. I actually didn't notice that at first, so that's pretty cool. Then you got the feet, which has a nice sculpted detail, but all black. And on the back, there's not really much going on. There's some very, very subtle sculpted battle damage, like little scuffs going on, which is pretty cool as well. So that's kind of like the details. I guess one thing I forgot to mention too is the jet, or actually I don't think this is a jetpack, just a backpack. But you do have the backpack here, and it does have the white painted sculpted symbol there. This is actually removable from the figure, like on the Space Marines. It goes in pretty securely, so no problem there. But what's different is that the Space Marines, the backpack was separate in the packaging. This one is actually attached to the figure in the packaging. You can consider this accessory maybe if you wanted to, but it's kind of part of the armor, so I don't know. But yeah, so let's talk about articulation. Figure's pretty well articulated. I've been saying this for a while now, and I haven't done too many of the DC Multiverse reviews, even though I have quite a few of the figures. But Mcfarlane has definitely improved on the articulation on the figures a lot. And it shows with this figure. You do have a nice ball joint in the neck. You get a lot of decent range there. Looks down quite a bit. Looks up a decent amount. Pivots a fair amount, and you get rotation. So that's really good. The shoulder plates don't really move, but they are kind of pushed up. Kind of that's how the design is. So you can get pretty much a full 90 degrees up. And you can rotate until you kind of hit the shoulder, but you can get the arms pretty far up because there is some flex to that plastic, and you can get them back a fair amount. You do also have that kind of double dumbbell joint into the torso, so you do get a bit of butterfly motion. There's a swivel cut right here at the bicep underneath the, which is nicely hidden with this plastic robe sleeve piece. And then there is actually double hinge elbows, which are quite well cut, and you get them they pull in all the way, which is really good. Some Marvel Legends can't do that. And then you have rotation at the wrist and kind of the standard joints they've been doing for these Mcfarlane Toys figures, where you can go up and down with the hinge joint, but if you want to, you can move around the joint so it actually goes in and out if you want that. But as a standard, at least on my figure, they're both going up and down, which is what I want them to do. Torso joint, moves okay. There's not a whole lot of crunching. It's just a little bit, a decent amount back, some pivot, and then mainly rotation. This piece here at the midsection is actually a soft, like rubbery plastic piece. So I'm assuming there might be, I don't really know why they did that. Maybe they thought maybe you could get more crunch articulation if they made that soft, but it doesn't really work that way. But still not bad torso articulation. The hips, they move out only about there, which is interesting. It's not bad spread by any means, but it's hindered by something. I don't know what it is. There's not really armor. Maybe it's just the armor. I don't know, but it is hindered in there. It only goes to about that far. I wouldn't force it. I don't want to break it. But yeah, and there's a bit of rotation at the top there. Not a full thigh swivel, but there's a bit of rotation. Double hinges at the knees. Yes, there's a double hinge there. It goes pretty good. Not fully, can't kick her ass, or in this case kick her back, but it goes pretty good. That's decent articulation. And then you get a hinge in the ankle. It goes up a bit. There's some flex to the plastic on that armor. Goes down, and then it does pivot an okay amount. And then you do have a toe hinge, which is okay. These hinges are kind of too loose, I want to say, which the toe hinges tend to be on figures. So I don't know how useful they are, but I'm not going to complain about it either. So in terms of accessories with this figure, you get a decent amount. You have the standard Warhammer display base, black, what they've been doing with pretty much all the Mcfarlane Toys figures, the black disc with the peg, and then Warhammer 40K logo on the bottom. Always appreciate to get a figure stand. This figure can use it a bit more than the actual Space Marines because she's got some smaller feet. You do get this bolter gun, which is a new sculpt, I'm pretty sure, for the line. It's cast in a nice metallic gunmetal-y silver color. And then they did sculpt and paint the bullets in the magazine, which is really cool. I like that they actually painted that. Kind of gives it a little more nice detail. You can get her to hold it, and what I like about this figure as well, whereas with the Space Marines, they had designated hands for each of their weapons. She comes with just 2 trigger hands, so you can have her holding it in either hand if you want to. And the hands have decent flex, so it's not super hard to get the gun in the hand. And then there you go. You have her holding it very tightly, securely. Even though it's a fairly big chunk of plastic, she can hold it with one arm, no problem. And I'm not going to fool around with it too much, but you can also get fairly sufficient two-handed poses. You're going to have to stretch the hand out a bit and fool with that to actually get her holding the bottom. Oh, there we go. So not too hard to get two-handed pose as well, which I really like. But she also comes with a melee weapon, being, I would say, your classic, she wants to stand, a classic chainsword. And what's cool about this is they actually did, this is a different sculpt from the first chainsword. They could have easily just, or they could have anyways reused potentially the chainsword from the first Space Marine figure, but they didn't. They give this one their own one with the little emblems we've seen throughout the figure's armor. A bit of a different handle, so that's really awesome. That's not reused, that's a new piece. This entire figure is new, which is always awesome. And she holds that sword in her hand really well, or pretty well. And yeah, really cool. So to end off here, I'll just do some quick comparison with the couple other figures that we've gotten. So to compare with their wave mate, here is the Blood Angel Space Marine. I do have the First Waves Ultramarine helmet on this guy. And you can see the scaling there. I have no idea if this is accurate. I know Space Marines are supposed to be like huge compared to normal humans, and I'm not sure if this person's character is a normal human or not. But the Space Marine is obviously wider, a bigger, chunkier figure, and is a bit taller, but not like super taller. I don't know, so I'm not sure. Someone else that knows more about Warhammer will know if this is a decent scaler or not. But I don't mind the scaling from my perspective anyways. And then here she is with the Mcfarlane, who isn't standing straight, but if he was standing straight, he would be a little taller as well, but that's how they look together. And yeah, like, it's a really awesome figure, man. So yeah, overall, this is a really great figure. If you're a Warhammer fan and you want Sister of Battle, 100% recommend picking this up. And then from just an action figure standpoint, if you're like me, casual fan or have nothing about Warhammer, but you like the Warhammer designs, you like how this figure looks, again, I'd pick it up. It's a really good looking figure. I love the color scheme. The sculpted details are great. The articulation's good amount of accessories. You're really getting, I feel like this is a line where you definitely get your money's worth for I'm just gonna say around $20 USD, and they're $30 in Canada. And like, I always feel like so far I get my money's worth when I buy these figures, because you just get a decent amount of plastic, sculpted detail, articulation, and accessories for that. I think there's some of the best deals of figures you can get out there. I'm just doing a quick little pose. There's a little action pose, so see what we can do with it. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribing, all that good stuff. Check out my Instagram, which I'll have linked down in the description, where I post toy-related stuff pretty much every day. Anyways, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.